What's up, H-Town and all around the dynamic Foxtrot OSG Shell Energy Stadium. Houston Dash versus Kansas City Current, final home game of the season. 2 games left in the season. Must win because we need all 6 points with a lot of help. Andres, welcome back to Houston again, y'all. Y'all see it? Y'all see it?
Back to back.
How do you feel, brother? How you feel?
I'm nervous, man. It's a must-win game against the best team in the NWSL right now, the Kansas City Current. It's been a team that has been under our nerves for so long, especially just being so dominant. It's going to take a perfect game for the Houston Dash.
Oh, yeah.
If they can create some damage, honestly, it feels like progress if they're able to do that. And like I said, it's going to take the perfect game, not just defensively, but offensively.
You're not kidding. We got to go up, up, up as they play some K-pop in the background for us. Jane Campbell back in the goal. That's going to be a bonus. Sorry, Abby, but Jane is back, ready to go. She for sure going to be tested today. We'll talk about Kansas City real quick. Chawinga, Dabinia, Labanta. Labanta's a free agent, by the way. All playing for them in part of their attack tonight. Kansas City is going to bring it and be an onslaught. So, like he said, it has to be a perfect game. Malia Berkeley is still the center back there with Paige Nielsen. Lisa Bowden is getting a start tonight. So we're going to see what she can do from the full 90 or from the start off. So we're still optimistic, but not expecting to win. He's nervous. I'm not, because I'm not expecting much from this game, but we'll see how it goes. What are you expecting?
It kind of more so goes back to what Paige Nielsen said in the immediate availability, which you can always look at Foxtrot TV. She kind of just said we just have to be aggressive defensively in a way that they have to track back early, because they have an insane front line, Kansas City Current, and they're gonna punish you if you screw up every single time, and that's why I say it's gonna take the perfect defensive game, because I feel like they can do it on a good day, but we see the Dash all year long, and they've been hitting those strides. And I'm hoping to see that tonight. And Lisa Bowden, man, I'm excited she getting the start tonight. I'm looking forward to see how she plays and how she's able to contribute.
And the defense can play well, but it's going to be up to the offense to put pressure on Kansas City and return that favor to keep our defense out of so much pressure tonight. So that's where it's going to be, and we haven't seen a lot of that offensive creativity coming from the Houston Dash against a very good Kansas City defensive team too. So, man, as now. They got to move for us tonight. Is what the Dash are gonna have to do. They're gonna have to be well on both sides of the ball, but we can't play the slow possession game to try to keep Kansas City from scoring, because they will counter on us. So game plan's gonna be tough for Fabrice, but if y'all paid attention to the press conference prior, the preview, he's ready for it. The girls are ready for it. Just now they're gonna have to execute and perform. We like to talk before the games so you can come back and hear it afterwards and see how right we are. I'm not expecting much. A 2-1, a 3-1 loss, maybe, most likely. I will not be surprised at a 1-1 draw. All right, how about you before we let these people go and get ready for the game?
I mean, in the last prediction that I made in Dash Dispatch, I specifically told you that I turned off my brain just to see the Dash win 4-2. And I feel like it's possible. And this is with the camera work right here. But
our best cameraman ever.
Yes. And honestly, it's still gonna be a tough game. I turned off my brain for a reason, because Kansas City is gonna be a tough team to beat. If we get a draw here, it's good, but it will also mean that we're out of playoffs, which sucks. But then again, it's gonna take a million things and for all the planets to align for us to make playoffs.
Right, a million things. So the 3-1 Atlas has to come a little bit closer for us to be able to make the playoffs. Need 6 points and then help. So we're not expecting much. We're not expecting to make the playoffs, but we do get to judge this season, and right now, the way I'm judging this season, it's a good season, and we have a lot to look forward to in the offseason. And then Angela has to keep it up, and Fabrice has to keep it up, and we'll see what new players come in. So I think that's pretty much it. We're going to let some people take their seats back, because we're probably occupying them. We're going to let y'all go. We're going to start you at the highlights. We'll see y'all back at halftime for the update. Andreas, final words.
Hey, man, go beyond, man. Ball out. This is the last opportunity to prove yourself at home for all the fans. It looks like it's going to be a solid crowd for a Dash game. And we saw a lot of people trying to come into the stadium right now, which is great. And just support the Dash, man. It's going to be, I feel it's going to be a long off season in the way that we're not going to have soccer, and we'll see what the news bring in for the off season.
The upper bowl is open. There are people sitting in the upper bowl. That is good news. So attendance could be in the 7s today.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. You're going to hear a lot extra crowd tonight, and we need it against this team. There are a lot of Kansas City people here too that we've been running across outside. So going to be a good environment. Going to be a fun one. We'll have fun. It's time to go. We're H's up. We'll see y'all at halftime, y'all.
Well, it's a 4-4-2, not too similar to some of the rotations that we've seen in the past with Sheehan dropping down into form a box in the midfield. But Houston's strategy starts with a strong defensive platform. Vlatko Andonovski selects what could be the strongest team that takes the field from minute one tonight. Izzy Rodriguez, Haley Mace, they're as good as fullbacks as you're going to see in this league in terms of their defensive presence as well as their attacking output. 12 goal contributions between the two. Rodriguez will amble forward to get Shawinga in more central positions. She'll be operating more as an auxiliary second striker, playing off the runs of Bia, who loves to check back into the midfield.
That is Lo Labonta, one of the stars on display tonight for Kansas City. Kiki Van Zanten just getting called up by Jamaica during this upcoming international window. We are underway with Houston in the purple and black, Kansas City Current in teal, riding a 17-game unbeaten streak. 15 of those are wins. Sheehan played it out wide. A couple of cuts from Van Zanten, slipping it through to Bright. Drives it, saved by Lorena. Another corner. They're getting a few corners in the early going, Houston, at the moment. Goes back to Nielsen, right side, Patterson, cut off, well read by Izzy Rodriguez, still has it. Rodriguez towards the end line, wants to cross, does. Cooper's header, not much on it in the end. Campbell with the easy save and quick toss left. Ryan, Sheehan. Up the middle, Punningham. Ryan is back. Oh, she had Messiah Bright open. Punningham fires! Just wide as Lorena was in full stretch. He says no.
Houston Dash do well to break free, find players between the lines. Puntigam between the lines takes advantage of this touch from Gabby Robinson, just falls so kindly to her, tees up a shot from distance, and it's going to take something special to beat Lorena from that position because she's vertically only 1 yard off her line. That gives her more time to react, better footwork, and more explosive of a...
Hutton in the middle. Slid out to the outside. It's Rodriguez cutting in front off the post, and it's skimmed wide of Dabinia.
Izzy Rodriguez retaining the width. It's Claire Hutton. Little combination with Bia. One touch out to Izzy Rodriguez, who has tons of time and space, takes that diagonal touch, and it's Claire Hutton who continues her run, surges out of the midfield, opens up her foot to try to glide this one past Jane Campbell, and it grazes off the near post, inches away there, even from finding that Kansas City Current player.
That would have been her first NWSL goal.
And that's where you see Houston Dash just contort to have to cover the runs of Bia, Dabinia in central positions, because when she is coaxing center backs out of position, that's freeing up space for Shawinga to get into, as well as Dabinia.
Cooper on the right, the cross for Dabinia!
With at the moment, yes, she can beat players off of the dribble, and we were talking about Bia picking up in unexpected positions, but Cooper can beat players off the dribble here, opts to go for the early cross, doesn't even need to beat her defender, whips it into the near post. Dabinia making that near post run. Good coverage from the Houston
Kansas City in this record-breaking year. Cooper slides it, Mace didn't get that much on it. Easy save for Campbell.
Yeah, to your point, JP, this Kansas City team has been absurdly dominant all season long. They now lead the record for most minutes led in a season, which was held last year by Orlando, beating them by 100 minutes still with 2 games to go. They have only been behind for 53 minutes this entire season. They have trailed 53 minutes, which is now a new league record, which beat North Carolina in 2018 by 139 minutes. Absurdly dominant.
Taken away on the right, the Ryan pass. Off Bright's touch, throw in Kansas City, 37th minute. Prince. Out wide, it's Cooper. Dabinia makes a run in support. Cooper towards the middle. Fires it off the fingertips of Campbell. Kansas City won the ball back. Davinia. Lavanta. Prince. That's wide. Gave it away. Hutton up the middle. Prince holds. Has support. Bia going upstairs. Grabbed by Campbell. Keep their playoff hopes alive. That's going to go out, and that's going to do it. Final whistle ending this first half. A good performance for you.
All right, Dashers, here we are at halftime, 0-0. Not much to talk about here. Chewinga did start and got hurt. Has been taken out of the game. Michelle Prince, ages up, has been put in. But as far as the Dash, it looks like they've been being careful, been hauled onto the ball, holding possession, and not trying to risk it all. They've been defending well against Kansas City. How are you seeing the first half so far?
Honestly, positive. Even though in the last few minutes of the first half, it kind of looked like Kansas City was able to get through some of the balls into the box. Overall, I was very confident with Houston's defense, especially when Chewinga was still in. They were going left and right, trying to look out for those opportunities, and by the time she left, it didn't work out for them. It hasn't worked out for them yet, but as we all know, they gotta stay consistent, gotta keep pushing.
So and Kansas City has been pushing a little bit. They've had the better shots. Jane Campbell has made a couple saves. Michelle Prince hit a couple over the bar here towards the end. So their shots are better. We have 3 or 4 corner kicks already. Lisa Bowden's looking okay over there. Bowden is looking pretty well over there. Just can't make the mistakes. We got to do more when we're on offense. We're heavy touching and heavy footing and finding ourselves by ourselves. So not able to play with the team. Hopefully that'll change in the second half, because really, what do we have to lose? We have to win. So at some point, Fabrice will have to risk it all. What do you expect to be changed here in the second half? And it could be right now. Abby, keep it down, Abby. No, I'm just kidding. Get it out, Abby. Get it out, Abby.
Well, honestly, it's a matter of taking it to a next level when it comes to playing against Kansas City Current. Obviously, like you said, they've been very careful going forward and just sticking with the back line in most occasions, because we've seen against Chewinga, we've seen now against Prince. Paige Nielsen in the back line, they've been tracking back a lot because they know that they're going to punish you if you mess up. But if they're able to just get a couple of numbers forward and just find that type of break they need, I feel like they have a chance.
If we can get Messiah making a few more runs and tire the defense out, and maybe when Clarissa comes in, she can do the same thing, but maybe they both stay in and they both push the defense up. So
yeah,
that's something I'm looking forward to, is maybe two forwards playing up top later in the game. And that's not Yaz being one of them. Keep Yaz in the wing and get some crosses in. So I'm optimistic. We'll see how it goes, but the first 10 minutes of the second half is going to decide who's going to be the better team in the second half, and it's going to come down to who's going to make the first mistake first, and hopefully it won't be us, because once we make one mistake, Kansas City's going to push, and they'll probably put 2 more in on us. So, man, this is going to be tough, guys. 0-0 at the half. We have 4 shots. They have 7, I think it is. We outnumber them on corners. Ball's kind of in the middle. Can we hold on? Can we get the win?
We kind of need to, but I'm leaning towards some luck.
Definitely going to take some luck. And we got to put the chances in the box to give ourselves that luck too as well. I'm not looking for an own goal for luck. Let's earn it. Let's get this game. Let's win this game and put Kansas City on the back burner, and going into their international break, damn, we were Shield winners and we lost to the Dash. Make them remember that when they go into the playoffs too. So it's still a possibility. We can still make the playoffs. We won't know till tomorrow, technically, but we got to finish this game out and win first too. No win means doesn't matter anyways, which we all know that. All right, Andreas, I think it's time to get back. They're not putting the clock up for us today, so we got nothing to go by. Just how long we feel like we've been standing up here talking.
Yeah, they're waiting for us.
They're ready for it. All right, let's get back down there, guys. Halftime is about to be over. Second half highlights are upon us, and we'll be back with a lot more after the second half. H is up.
All NWSL games are available on CD.
Let's see what that injury was about. Left with some assistance. Went right to the locker room, and that's all that we know. Hutton on the ball, is exited, and Van Zanten So fresh legs coming into the game. You lose some speed with Van Zandt. Into the game for Dabinia and Cooper as Ryan takes off. The cross in front, putting a miss. Garris, go! Houston leads.
We're all stunned, JP, but it's Ryan Garris who gets at the bottom of your screen. But look at Yazmeen Ryan on the ball, just down the side of Kansas City. Punta Game's in a scoring position. Lola Bonta doesn't get pressure on Punta Game, doesn't get into a position where she's faced up the field, goes across frame and skirts somehow to Ryan Garris, who's in a goal-scoring position, framing the goal, uses the inside of her foot, goes back across the grain against Haley Mace, who's trying to get back onto the goal line to clear this off past Lorena. And Ryan Garris making an immediate impact, giving Houston games in which they were held scoreless against Seattle and Washington.
Prince slid it across, but right at Campbell from Hopkins. In the 88th minute, it's Haley Mace going long. Bia, left side. Center in the box, cutting it back. Pfeiffer that was, and then it's wide.
Getting into a central position, Bia, the overlapping run, good little reverse pass down the line. But look at the number of purple jerseys in front of goal. Bia trying to squeak that one through.
Flick forward, there's Prince up the middle, holding, shooting right at Campbell. Jill, your thoughts on Houston continuing to have a shot at the playoffs?
Well, I don't think we can discredit Schwinga going down early in this match and not being able to provide an attacking threat, and also this Kansas City current team potentially being rattled, but all the credit goes to this Houston Dash team. They might have just found a blueprint.
I got one thing to say. When I say dog, you say bark, dog, bark, dog, bark.
On the midfield, here from Dash President Hucles Mangano, head coach Fabrice Gautrat, and team captain Campbell.
Dash fans, what a night. We want to first say thank you guys for being so faithful and coming out and supporting these players. One thing we asked at the beginning of the game was, how do you want to be remembered? How do you want the fans to remember you, and especially for this last home game? And I think needless to say, they came out, they performed, and they were absolute dogs. So let's keep this momentum going. There's a lot of work that's being done behind the scenes. The players, in terms of how they connect with each other each and every day, they come together as a staff, one of the most connected staff I've ever been a part of. So let's just keep this train going. We need your support, and thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Houston Dash fans, thank you so much for your endless support of this team, of this club. Our players, our staff work tirelessly throughout the week to put on performances like tonight for you all. We want to thank you all for always showing up for us, whether we're here, at home, or on the road. It is sport that brings us together, and we do this for you all, so thank you so much.
One more game to go away at Portland, so the job's not finished. But I want you guys to know from the bottom of our hearts, we couldn't do it without you. We want you guys to know as players that behind the scenes, Angela and Coach Fabrice and their staff are working tirelessly to push this club forward in a better direction. And and hopefully we'll bring a championship to Houston very soon. So stay with us. We love you guys. And to end it, let's throw our ages in the air and do a dash on 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right, Dashers, we're here back in our favorite spot, our new favorite spot, even though this will be the last time we get to use it in this calendar year, 2025. But what are we so happy about? We just beat the Kansas City Current 1-0.
Yep.
Definitely did not expect that, but we definitely deserved it. Andreas, 1-0 dub. Tell me how excited you are, or were, or is.
Well, in the last iteration since we've been in this couch, I should call it the sad couch.
Yeah.
Because it was like going back to last year, like we were in a different situation. Of course, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about a really bad loss by Dynamo, but man, for a change, we get to celebrate a dub on Fan Appreciation Night. Last home game for the Dash, like this season, and man, it was against a tough team against Kansas City Current, and the Dash got the job done. There's a very few negatives I like to take out of this game. Of course, the fact being that Kansas City went out there and tried to stretch out the Dash thin.
Somehow they had 20 shots.
Somehow. And I think the XG battle, I think we ended up with like 1.37 or something like that. Or 0.37, sorry.
Yeah.
But still, we still look pretty good. If you watch the game, we were still competing in that game, and the one thing that I really expected out of the Dash to get a result out of this game was to like stay consistent. And man, Ryan Gary's
with the goal, but you mentioned consistency. What won the game for us today was that defense and how the defense played today. Malia Barkley has been showing out. She is definitely a great find and is a stay point right here. Paige Nielsen, the vice captain, was just killer tonight. And when you watch the press conference here after this right here, you're going to see how happy. And she glowing, friggin' glowing like this was the best day of her life. That's how much Paige enjoyed tonight's show. It was friggin' awesome, but because the defense played that well, gets to mention your Ryan Gary's goal. So defense plays well, pushes the press on, wins the ball, and what happens?
Magic, man. Upper 90 magic. And I didn't see it coming. Well, nobody saw it coming. Not even Manny saw it coming. Like Manny, we were talking about.
Manny said good game before that.
Yes, and lo and behold, coming off the bench, just providing like that, amazing. Of course, first one in a while, which is fantastic. So congratulations to Ryan Gary's for coming off the bench and making the difference tonight. But going back to the defense, man, and you obviously mentioned Paige Nielsen. She's been all over the field tonight, and credit goes to her for the win. And of course, Avery Patterson, you're just recently getting the call up, and you're gonna see the mixed zone footage from her. We got a ton of questions for her, just out of that call up, but also tonight's performance. And I mean, it all goes back to just being dogs all around. They keep saying dogs. They're dogs, man.
They were dogs. Malia Barkley was hurting the entire game. Finally got subbed out. Yeah. Katie Lynn comes in and then kills Chappie almost. Chappie, her face is swollen. She took a hard hit, but she'll be okay. We don't know though technically.
And, Katie Lynn's okay too. Yeah.
Katie Lynn's fine. She finished off the game. Big important piece that did come back was Jane Campbell in the net. Stood out. But this is what we need, and this is what we're happy about. This is going to be the first off season in a long time, maybe in any of our history, where we feel good about how the season went, even though we're not going to make the playoffs. Put air quotes in there. And we're just happy about the traction and where the team is going. So we'll see what happens.
I'm more so, obviously, it kind of sucks if we want to make it to playoffs, but obviously all the stars have to align for that to happen. And look, even if we don't make playoffs, I've headed into the offseason feeling okay, because, of course, it sucks that we are not going to the playoffs and we lost a ton of opportunities to go above the playoff line. But at the end of the day, we knew from day one this is going to be a project. This is going to be a long-term thing that maybe not so in the distant future. Like things can just be way different in a good way.
Yeah.
Because we have the blueprint, we have the players that believe in the project. We do have so many people that are invested into this thing that I feel like it's possible. And for the first time in a long time, you could even say like after the playoff appearance that we made and after a good the 2020 Challenge Cup, like we're heading into good times, man. And of course, there's the potential ownership changes here and there, but right now we're in a good place.
Definitely in a good place. We even got to talk to Angela after the game in the mix zone, so you'll get to see that here shortly and just get a message to the fans. So y'all, if you're here in the stadium, you heard the message to the fans on the field as well. Ryan Gary's gave a message to the team, which I posted on Instagram as well, and Dash posted it already. I'm sure it's all over the place. Y'all seen it. The excitement. We're excited. Watch the faces in the press conference too. They are so friggin' happy, and they're just, man, this team is coming together. Yes, they believe in what they're being taught. They believe in Fabrice. They believe in Angela. They believe in the process. Yaz even mentioned how much she enjoys it here. And it's crazy when you're coming from New York.
Yeah.
Because New York's a place that everybody wants to live, right? So
they went out. They came off a championship win just so recently. So like it tells you a lot because you don't have to lift trophies to just be engaged in a new place, in a new city like this. And from day one, and that's the thing that I've been worried heading into this season. It was more so getting invested in the project, not just us, but most importantly the players, the people that go onto the field and represent the city.
Right, and a player of that caliber saying words like that about the city and about the club and about the ownership, about the team, about our teammates, says something to another player who might be interested in coming here, or we reach out to somebody and they're like, who, the Houston? I've heard some good things about y'all. Let's talk. Yeah. So good positives to take from this game. Good positives to work for the next season. Still have one game left in 2 weeks at Portland. We'll figure out what time that game is because it is a 2BA, but it's November 2nd, which is a Sunday. Imagine all those games will be at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. They'll all be at the same time. I don't know what they're waiting for to announce the times, but we got to watch Louisville tomorrow. Louisville needs to lose and lose bad to help us in our situation. If they win or tie, then the situation's over. North Carolina won this week, so they're still 2 points ahead of us, so they're going to have to do something too in 2 weeks on decision day. So it's still not in our hands, but we still need some help. But this win tonight against the best team in the NWSL, when they poured it on, they did put it on. They played their players. They played their game.
Yeah.
So that was a definite statement win. We even said it to Fabrice. That was a statement win. So good job. H is up. Foxtrot, tell the people final words.
Man, if you haven't tuning into the Dash for all these reasons that happened for the past several years, unfortunately there have been situations that the team has been in bad places, but like we said, we're heading into a good place. The team is believing in, you could even argue better than ever, man. Like we came out of a really bad year last year. Obviously there were situations with the coaching staff and it sucked because it meant it was time for a reset. They brought in Fabrice, they brought in Angela, they brought in a new coaching staff, and of course the players that came over along the way. They're in a much better place now. I want to emphasize that because, of course, we've been burned several times as Dash fans over the years, and this one's different. The players showed it on the field tonight. Of course, consistency has been an issue this year, but then again, we go back to the project that has been starting since day one. They believe in it. They believe in it, man. I feel good about it. You feel good about it. Like a ton of fans feel good about it. They come out with a massive win against what, like you said, the best team in the NWSL right now, and it's a sign of more things to come. So I'm looking forward to it. If you're not tuning into the Dash, next year, man.
You should be. Dash are fun to watch too, and if you watch the Dynamo, you should watch the Dash. Just because they're Houston either way, they're fun to watch, they enjoy, and they spend more time with the fans. But you shouldn't watch the Dynamo. You should be watching the Dash as well. So All right, y'all, we're going to take y'all into the mix zone first because I think we should start off with Angela right here.
Yep.
So we'll take you to the mix zone. You'll Angela, you'll Avery. I don't think you got anybody else. And then we'll go into the press conference for Fabrice, Yaz, and Paige Nielsen. So got just a little content here to listen to, and you can just see it all in their faces, the happiness, and just, man, this is a Houston Dash team to look forward to next season.
Yes.
Y'all stick with us. We're going to keep y'all covered. This was a Foxtrot Game Day, but we have an episode out in a couple days. We'll talk about this again and go a little deeper dive. And then we got to move, right? We got to move. And then we start talking about the off season. We'll have international break first, and then we have Portland. But there's a lot to talk about, a lot going on in the off season, a lot to follow, a lot to cover, as Angela told us a while ago. So, Andreas, I think it's time to let these people go into the mix zone and end with the press conference. It's time for me to go have a drink and enjoy the rest of the night.
Yes.
H is up, people. That's how we do it. DTFO and
go beyond. Yeah. Hey, Angela. First of all, congratulations for the performance tonight. What do you feel is the team, obviously looking into playoffs potentially? How do you feel like if that were to happen, if the team is currently in the right situation, just to keep going forward, especially with a game against Portland coming up?
I think right now we're sitting in a place where everything is out of our hands. You know, the players showed up and did what they needed to do tonight, and now we wait and see. I think this is just a great reminder for us that, you know, anything can happen, and we have come back before in games, we have led in games, and ultimately this league is so competitive that you need to show up every single night, no matter who you're playing.
Of course, and a lot of words of encouragement for the fans at Postgame. Of course, a lot of vision for the future with what's ahead. Obviously, you already mentioned that already, but what do you feel like should be something extra for the fans and looking forward into next season? Is there something to look forward to, or just something to be excited about for next year?
Absolutely. I think there's always something to look forward to. And I know at the beginning of this year, we made some promises in terms of changes that we wanted to see, and I think we've done some of that. And I think some of those changes that we still are wanting to see are happening, but it takes time. And I think that's the exciting part of this sport, and I think it's the exciting part about this team and this club itself. So there is more to come. If I think we're talking about players and staff and a feeling we really feel like this is just the beginning. So we appreciate all the fan supports for sticking with us, and also for their support and pushing us to the next level.
Thank you, Angela. Good luck.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Congrats on the win, first of all. What are your, going into this game, what were your expectations for this game? Of course, Kansas City just being a really dangerous opponent, but it looked like you guys locked down defensively for the most part. Your thoughts on the game overall so far?
Yeah, I think, like you said, it was a team performance. I think defensively we outperformed our opponent, and I think that is what it came down to in the end, was our defensive mentality. I think our defending in the box, our ceiling shape, all of the tactical things. I think defensively we were really sound, and obviously credit to Ryan for burying that one.
And decision day against Portland coming up, of course, it could just be a different game offensively for Portland, but of course it's going to be a massive game ahead on the road. What are your expectations as well going into that game?
I think that we won't have anything to lose. I think it's a huge game for us, obviously. I think it's make or break in terms of playoffs. So I think we're going to come out swinging and try and get the first punch. But give everything we have. It's our last game of the regular season, and hopefully we're starting a playoff push after that.
And one more from me, of course, the team just gave a really big message to the fans post-game, and Angela just spoke positively about you guys and potentially heading to next season. What are your expectations, of course, postseason pending? What are expectations heading into next year?
I mean, I think continuing what we have started throughout this year, I think that everything that just happened in those 90 minutes, or actually 110 minutes, is a testament to everything that we've put in. I think this year has been a step in the right direction, and I think, what Angela, I'm assuming, to reiterate whatever Angela said, it's super positive heading into the next season.
Thank you.
just wanted to kind of pick up on that. Just wanted to see what's your feelings kind of heading into this last game of the season. You guys kind of had a rough start with a few players, very important players leaving and new players coming in. What's kind of like the atmosphere in the locker room going into this last game?
Yeah, I think it's a sense of togetherness. I think that we've been through a lot collectively as a group. I think, you know, last year, sorry, Katie's son is saying, Dad, he's looking at me. Hi, buddy. But yeah, I think that it's been a tough 2 years, obviously. I think even extending back to last year, a lot of girls have stayed and toughed it out. You know, whenever we didn't have a stable coach, a stable staff. So, I mean, for it to everything be coming together now, it's a sense of togetherness and I think a sense of community here that's just going to continue to grow.
Right, that's perfect. And I also wanted to ask you, for example, because I noticed that you personally in your game have adapted into like more of a defensive role, correct? Even though like you deliver in the offensive side and you have like your good skills, you also like defend on the back end. How did you personally approach those type of like shifts?
I actually appreciate you noticing that because that is something that I've worked on a lot this year. Our assistant coach Jaime Frias and I have spoken a lot about defensive presence and, you know, tracking runs in the box, defending in the box, like I mentioned earlier, was definitely a work on for me. And I think it's important for my club and also for country. I think that's what they're asking for me at the national level. So if I can develop in club and continue to learn from, you know, all of the veteran defenders around me, it's going to take my game to another level, hopefully.
Yeah, that's perfect. And good thing that you mentioned it. I just want to congratulate you again on the call up. This has been like your most ongoing year where you kind of have a few appearances. So is that something? How did it come about? Like the first call for you? Like did it make you nervous? Did it make you like excited? I mean, you already were in the U's first, right? But this is kind of like a new animal, right? The big ones.
Yeah, it was an email, and peek behind the curtain, I cried, obviously. I think everyone would, right? It's something that you dream about since you're toddling around with the soccer ball is, I want to play for my country one day. I want to represent the U.S. Women's National Team. And you don't really know what that means until you reach your conscious and understand the gravity of it. But I never thought that I would understand the scope of it all, and it all just kind of hit me at once whenever I got the email. It was tears. My birthday's actually on Flag Day. It's on June 14th, and so we had American flags in my apartment, and my roommate and I were waving them around. It was great. But yeah, I wrote a letter to my parents the day that I got it, just because all the emotions were fresh, and I figured, you know, I need to thank them for everything that they've done to get me here. And yeah, it was an incredible day for me.
That's awesome. Well, just congratulate you on everything that's coming for you, and hopefully you guys make it to the playoffs, and we can see you here back again.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Avery.
Yeah, obviously a really good result. I thought also a good performance. Limiting Kansas City to 1.24 expected goals, I think, is a really good thing. I thought we defended the box quite well, and the goal we score is a lot of the stuff that we've worked on. Yes, it was transition, but we always talk about, okay, we need some people running beyond and in front of the line. I thought especially the players that came on really helped lift the game and carry the win for us.
Thank you for that. We'll start with questions here in the room. Go ahead.
Coming into this game, I know a great win for yourself. I know coming into this game plan is a lot of what you're trying to build to beat this team or play against this team. Did it stress out a little bit going through this the whole 90 minutes? Because it felt like the game plan stuck through the entire time. Did you have to adjust a little bit?
Yeah, we had to adjust a little bit towards the end. They were overloading our back line, so we had to go to a 5 just because that was like the last, I would say, 5-10 minutes, which I thought ended up going well. And then in terms of, yeah, I mean, we knew the spaces that we wanted to attack on the build. I thought we had some really good build-ups. I thought we could have hurt them a little more, especially in the first half. But, yeah, I think overall, it was a solid performance.
So from tonight's game, take away all the good positives, because last week was just kind of a completely different story. This week is obviously the big dub. Take the positives away that you can build on for the next game and going into next season as well.
Yeah, and look, we're still, I mean, Louisville loses to Gotham tomorrow. We're still in the hunt. So, and then you're still looking at, you know, it's not that much of a goal differential difference, right? So, yeah, we're still believing that anything is possible. But yeah, I think there's a lot to build on. I think it takes a lot of time to bring a group together, and I think we have a really good foundation. So regardless of what happens this year, I think we can definitely hit the ground running when we start next year.
Ryan Gary's with the first goal of the season. What a great substitution to come in. It looked like Kiki was getting kind of tired. Is that what you saw too?
Yeah, we felt Masai and Kiki put a great shift in, but we just felt like we needed a little more energy, and I thought those two, Clarissa and Ryan, really helped lift the team.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck next week. Or 2 weeks from now.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Manny? Yep.
Fabrice, congrats on the win. Just want to talk about more of the tactical lineup. At the back, you had Lisa Boati make her first NWSL debut. Can you talk about her impact, I think, starting the first minutes in the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think she's probably one of our most composed players on the ball. I think she's, you could tell she's tons of quality, uses a lot of deception. So I think she's someone that's going to definitely be in the mix. I think the biggest challenge was she came in kind of midway through, and then it took her a while to actually get clear to actually train with us. And so there's a lot, and obviously, as you know, this league, like, it's really demanding, but she's she just put one foot in front of the other. She knew kind of the gaps that she needed to close to get ready and be ready for a game like this. And I think for her, especially against someone like Michelle Cooper, I thought she did it extremely well defending.
I think notably, I think for tonight's match, I think the player of the match, of course, the team defensive line, but also Jane Campbell coming back at net. She made a huge impact on saves and also clutch moments. We expect about her leadership and her clutch on goal.
Yeah, look, I think she's grown as a leader so much, and she's the heartbeat of this team. I think I think she just has that calming presence, and I thought she came up big when she needed to and organized the line. So great to have her back.
And lastly, I think just talk about the last homestand with a win. I think it's been a while since the Dash won their last home game. I can't remember exactly, but it's been a while. I think you mentioned a little bit more with the fans right now about the positive living, off on a good note. How does that impact not just only for the players but also for the organization, just winning that last home game?
Yeah, I think it's really important. I mean, we as I mentioned out there, we asked the players earlier, it's like, what vision, what last image do you want the fans to leave with about you and your performance, and they said, we want to make sure that we're fighting for every duel, that we stay united, like we really honor the crest, and I think they did that tonight. So really proud of them and what they gave and everything. I think it took all 26, 27 of them for sure.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
First off, again, congratulations on the win. I know with them being the biggest team in the league and the league team that's winning the league, it's really heartfelt for y'all to win right now. For me, the question is, having Chawinga come off with the injury that she had, and then having Rodriguez, Robinson, and Cooper being the strongest three that they went to the ball to more, and seeing they defended really well, what do you think for that moving forward, going to Portland, and then possibly next season as well?
Just rephrase. What's the question? Sorry, I just want to make sure I understand the question.
So how do you think the team was resilient between defending those three and also having Chawinga come out? Did it give you all a little bit more of an advantage moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I actually thought we defended her quite well even leading up to it. So sure, it gave probably a little more. Obviously teams could press higher and more efficiently when someone like that is off. But I thought we dealt with her quite well. But if you look at their front line, I mean, they still had Bia, they still had Dabinia, they still had Cooper. Like, those guys are a handful. So I thought the way we defended them was really, really good. So I think if anything, what you're seeing is a group, and especially Malia coming into the group, and Lisa coming in. Like, there's a lot of little detail that maybe they haven't, because we have a very specific way of how we defend. You could tell, like, the gaps are closing, we're getting more aligned. So I think that's what I was saying earlier, where I think next year we can really hit the ground running because they already have a base of what we want to do. So
perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I think this is what it's all about. I'm so proud of this team for no matter what, just going out and doing what we can to put ourselves in the best position. And we did just that, and I'm honestly just so proud of everybody.
Yes, how you doing? Congratulations on the win. So game plan was to stop Kansas City, obviously, but that also put a lot of pressure on y'all offensively. You were able to create a goal. Take us through that moment and how hard it was to build up to that moment first off.
Yeah, we actually felt like there was a decent amount of space. I mean, Delaney was, I think, wide open when she got that ball. I was wide open when she passed it to me. And then I think it was just a matter of taking that space and really attacking with speed. We know that they commit a lot of numbers high, and so that way, you know, we'll have good moments to create opportunities on the transition. And so I don't really remember how Delaney got the ball, but I just knew we were like pretty wide open. And then for Sarah to get in the box, Clarissa, Ryan, I mean, for them to match my speed on the ball as well just says a lot, and I think is a lot of growth on the fact that we were able to score a goal like that. And yeah, I mean, Ryan, what an amazing finish, and so composed, literally just got in the game and was able to put that away no problem. And that's what she's been doing all season. So yeah, I'm just literally so happy.
Excited. Chemistry's been growing and growing and growing. We've been talking about it throughout the entire season, talking with y'all too. So take the positives from tonight. What did you see as a player that we can build off of continuing on? And then what did Fabrice tell y'all after the game?
Yeah, I think picking our moments of when, you know, it's good to be up 1-0, but even before that, like not getting too drawn back to where we're just sitting on our own half. I think really choosing our moments to get up and press and really do that as a team. There were a couple of moments where we were a little bit stretched or not as together as we wanted. So just looking at that and making sure we fill the gaps there and yeah, going forward from there.
And then what did Fabrice had to say at the end of the game here?
I
Or
always
did Ryan
black out
take
in
it
those
off?
moments. You said after the game?
Yes.
Yeah. I think he just emphasized how proud he was of us and that we did exactly what we said we were going to do, which feels so good as a team to know that every single person gave it their all tonight, and just for a 90-minute performance. And I think that was like what it was going to take in order to beat this team, and that's what we did. So yeah, I really don't remember exact words. I always just kind of black out.
It's always good to have a win after that. So now the season is not over yet, still have one more game, but to the fans tonight, last home game, what do y'all say to them? Because it's been a long time since we feel good when we're going to an off season after a season when you don't make the playoffs. But I can tell you as a fan, we feel good about what the off season is going to bring and what next season is going to bring. How about you? What do you have to message to the fans?
Yeah, thank you so much for your support tonight, especially getting to see the 20, I think it was 20 fans that got to come down the field and get our jerseys, and we got to talk to them and interact with them a little bit, which is so special knowing that they're here with us no matter what. And we really felt that energy extra tonight with the goal and every tackle. I felt like they were right there with us, and it's always so important to us as players to feel that energy, and it really does boost us. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad that our goal was to leave the home stadium with our fans feeling like they had something to look forward to next season, and you could really feel the energy. So I hope that we did that.
Y'all succeeded. Thank you, Yaz. H's.
Thank you.
First off, I would congratulate y'all again for getting a huge victory over this team, which is a team that's big offensively and defensively. What do you think y'all did really well to help shut them out offensively and defensively?
Yeah, I think defensively we really defended as a unit and did what we've been doing really well, especially in the second part of the season. This game, to me, I think it was important that it didn't feel as big as it was, and especially with the opponent that we were playing, we didn't make it out to something that was like this task that we couldn't take. I think when we played them earlier in the season, we were pretty defensive, even to start off, and then this game we start off on the front foot. We're in their half, getting corners the first 5-10 minutes. We're really not letting our foot off the gas, and I think that just really gave us the overall confidence that, like, it doesn't matter who we play, we know how we play and what we can do, and as long as we are dangerous and defend as a team, then I mean it can easily be our game. So I really appreciated that we really came out on the front foot and didn't step back because of who we were playing.
And then lastly, getting her first goal of the season, how did the team overall react after post goal?
Yeah, I mean, Ryan is so amazing. I think she shows up every single day for this team and had such a good beginning part of the season when before her concussion. And she's just a player that you can always rely on and does every part of the work that we ask her to do. So I'm so extremely proud of her, and I thank you, Ryan. Thank you.
Good evening. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Happy, excited, I can tell, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations. I know it's not the end of the season. It's the last game at home, at least, with some help from beyond, if you will, but it's there for still a possibility. I know it's not time to recap a season, but can you start looking at the pluses and the negatives, what the team has done well, your contribution? Any thoughts on that? I know that's a very broad question.
Yeah. I think coming back after the break was probably the whole highlight of our season. I mean, the way that we were able to, I think we ended up tying a decent amount of those games, but compared to not getting a tie or the win that we needed prior to, you could really feel our momentum picking up. And I think the way that we were playing, especially defensively, allowed us to stay in these games and just like really figure out what that means for us to like do everything as one and a unit. And so I think the highlight was the whole second half of how we were able to play and just really embrace our identity and also show that on the field and not be scared of any opponent. I felt like we really tried to continue to be a pressing team, and no matter who we played, and like just really focus on ourselves. And so unfortunately we want to do that next season, starting off I think on the front foot in the first half, so that way we're not catching up or necessarily in this position where we have to rely on other games. But I think this is really like a solid foot forward of what Houston Dash and like this team is going to be. And that's really, I mean, as a player, all you can ask for is to progress forward, and I think that's exactly what we're doing.
You used the word identity. Maybe another word is culture. Mm-hmm. Coach Fabrice, I imagine, is a huge part of what it's building here, right? Mm-hmm. And building is a process that takes time?
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it definitely takes time, and I think it also takes as much time as you kind of let it. I think in the beginning of the season, the process might have taken a little longer than we wanted to, but it's always important to gather yourselves and bounce right back. And so I think our culture and how we organized the team and how we were able to come together and be like, okay, like this is what's gonna help us be a winning team. Was super important. And I think we're honestly we were one of the best teams in the second half of the season. I mean, there was like plenty of stats where if this was the beginning, we would be second or third, worth the gatherers of points. So yeah, I mean, I think our culture is super solid, and the way that we really just like emphasized on that and really leaned on each other as players, the staff as well, and just like talking and figuring out what we need to do. But we always felt that support from one another. So, yeah, I mean, this has definitely been the best culture team that I've been on thus far.
And lastly, if I may, how are you doing adjusting to this city, this team, and balancing your other commitments? Because, by the way, you play on another team here and there, right?
I do. Yeah, it can be, difficult coming in and out. For sure, especially when it's your first year on a new team. But I think that with Houston, it's honestly been pretty easy to kind of fill out for individually like what I need to do to help the team, and just trying my best to have contributions to make sure that I'm creating chances as an attacking player, and also help defensively. So it can be difficult in the first year, but I think with the way that this team is like constructed, it's been pretty easy to come in and out, or to start with this team.
Did you get tired? National team here, there. Your logistics must be all over the place.
Yeah, the travel is a lot, but I've luckily been in a position where it's not any different than it was for me last year with the CONCACAF games, with Gotham and traveling that much as well. So I was almost prepped for it. I feel like that's kind of how I like to look at it. It can be tough on any player traveling that much, but that's why I'm extra focused on recovery and things like that, because I mean, if this is what I've been wanting to do, so.
And not going long in press conferences with questions like mine. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got a win. Let's go. Super excited and super proud of this group. We've been through a lot this season, ups and downs, and I've been here a lot on the mic. We were joking with losses or ties that felt like losses because we really needed 3 points. And I think this is just a testament to who we are as a team, who we can be. This league is crazy. The bottom team can beat the top at any given moment, and it was a really great team performance. I mean, offensively, we were able to break them sometimes. Hopefully we can continue to grow on that. Defensively, we were super sound. Everyone that came off the bench were throwing their bodies. We had staples, stitches, and that's what it takes to beat the top team in this league. And yeah, couldn't be more happy with the result.
Paige, congratulations on the win, especially that's a statement game to get that win as well. Playoffs are still an option, but we still got a lot to do. Tomorrow's game with the opponent, but tonight for y'all, the defense looked really well. Held the back line together. It looked like with Chewinga and y'all had a game plan, and it looked like someone was marking her specifically, and then she ended up coming out, and the game plan kind of changed a little bit. But y'all held it down. Talk about y'all's plan, and then when the plan changed, if it did.
Yeah, I mean, Chewinga's super fast, and she's not only fast, she's talented with her feet. She brings a different dynamic to Kansas City. And obviously you have to protect the space in behind. You definitely have to worry about her. You know, I guess the game plan was Avery being a little bit more defensive on the right side and blocking the outside channel. And then I guess we were kind of double teaming, but she was still releasing to the outside back. But when she did go out, we felt a little more freedom to play out because her counter pressing ability is really good. So we were able to play out a little more, and defensively we felt a little more comfortable. But again, throughout the season, we've grown so much. Communication, we have Lisa communicating, and she's new to the team. Avery's grown in so much. And Malia came in and had one of her best defensive games. Now we're really taking pride in our defense, and I think we struggled at the beginning of the year. We were mostly possession oriented, but now we're anything that gets in our box, we are bumping runners. We are yelling, screaming at each other with urgency, and really protecting our net. So. Yeah, it was a really good defensive performance all across the field. Our pressure on the ball higher up the field was very good, and when they released, we have to release. So obviously at the end of the game, we went into a 5-back, and we were just trying to protect the lead, and that's how you game manage. That's how we can grow more, game management. You know, going down when someone's cramping, I think is really important. So, yeah. Proud of our defense.
Y'all stepped up. Malia was stepping up but struggling a little bit there. Katie Lynn came in to put it down. Chappie came in. Unfortunately, she took a big hit right there, so hopefully she's healthy. But taking everything y'all built off of and continue to build off from game to game, what can you take for next season as this chemistry does hope to grow? Granted, the season's not over yet.
Yeah. I think continuing to grow in our possession and our attacking. Obviously, you know, we get into the final third a lot, but then how do we create better chances? A lot of the games we kind of have to protect a 1-0 lead and or come back for a goal. And if we can start to score early and keep the pressure on attacking, I think it'll relieve our defensive panic, you know, just trying to get the ball out of the out of our defensive end. So I think we're going to continue to grow in our relationship building on the field, and I think the hardest part of soccer is the final third. And our goal tonight was a testament of what we've been working on. If people were filling the lanes. We had someone in the center lane, we had someone in the outside lane, and then Ryan Garris flying in the back. And I think we've been working on that all year. So we will continue to grow in that.
That's good to hear. So talking from the fan base, we're really happy how the season went, even though it's still not over yet. We're really happy going into the off season. We're not going to be pulling our hair out in the off season, waiting to see what happens. Tell the fans what is your message to the fans as we are waiting through this nice off season to get the season kicked back up again next season. Granted, we're still in a rush right here, a playoff.
Yeah, first, thank you to the fans for continuing to show up every single game and going through the ups and downs with us. You know, we're out there fighting every single day at training, in the game, and we had a lot of growing pains this year. But for our fans to continue to show up and believe in us, and I think you'll see a different side next year, more consistent, and I'm really excited for what we're building here.
Thanks, Paige. Y'all really rocked it tonight.
Thank you.
First off, again, congratulations on a huge victory tonight, especially with this team that's big offensively and defensively. Having Rodriguez take all the corner kicks in that part of the game, what was going through all of y'all's head at that point, knowing how offensively strong they are?
Yeah, I mean, we've been working on defending corners and defending the box a lot. And, we don't have the tallest team. So really making it very difficult for the runners. Our man-to-man marking in the corners were outstanding. They were pushing people away from the goal, which is our priority, and letting Jane rocked it and came out for some big corners in the air. But it was really kind of down to our man marking. And when they went to near post, we put all of our bodies there, and we just wanted to get it out. Proud of the group.
Another follow-up is Jane Campbell had a lot of key saves, a lot of key blocks. What is that going to lead into, influencing-wise, going into Portland, trying to get that last win to get you a bigger playoff chance?
Yeah, I mean, having Jane in there is great. I mean, Abby is great too. They're both crazy leaders in the back, and it's nice as a defender to have someone that has your back. So when you see her coming out for big saves, you're going to do everything to slide and be together as one. So it's inspiring. If a defender makes a huge tackle, you're going to make the next tackle, because that's like the D unit is like a family. We protect each other, and it sets a tone for the rest of us going into Portland.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Thanks, guys.